Alright guys, so here it is, the full review of the Samsung Galaxy S8. Now I am going to try to keep this as brief as possible because I've done so many videos on the S8, it's ridiculous. I'm actually going to start a timer for this one because I got to see how long. I don't want this to drag on too long, and you know, I have to. So stopwatch is going. I've been going for probably about a minute or so almost, but we're going to make this happen. So I've battled this phone against a lot of phones with cameras that I thought were worthy to compete against this phone. So I normally start with build quality and design, but I'm going to go to cameras first. The reason I'm going to cameras first, because I did a video comparing it to the Moto G5 Plus. And some of you guys said, whoa, you know, the Moto G5 Plus 4K video looks much better than the 4K on the S8 Plus. And I was like, whoa, you know, I didn't expect that kind of response. And I record the videos, I upload them straight through. I scan them for errors and things like that. Like if I'm saying something wrong, I try to catch it. I can't catch everything, but for the most part, I looked at it again and I thought, whoa, that is some good quality coming from that Moto G5 Plus comparing it to the phone that costs twice the money and then some. And the reason I'm starting with cameras is just for that reason. I need to be able to justify to tell a person, you should buy the S8. If you're a camera person, you need to buy the S8 over the G5 Plus. Well, the G5 Plus, you can tell me all day, you're not supposed to compare those. That's a flagship and that's a mid-range. Come on, people. Wake up. Don't believe the hype. These are just two smartphones with different specs. That's it. The flagship, mid-range, those are just titles and things that people put out there. Fact is, do you really want to spend double the money when you can get the same performance here? Cameras on the G5 Plus, they did surprise me. I went back and looked at that footage and I thought, wow, you know, some of these people were right. Wow, these people were right. This camera actually does rival the S8's camera. And I know the Samsung fans are going to come along and say, oh, he's biased. You know, I'm biased about every phone that I say is better than the S8 in some way. And you know what? Thanks, guys, for the support. Thanks for stopping by. However, the cameras on this phone are not the best. And I've shown that, and other reviewers have shown that as well. And shout out to Grant. He put a Sony device, the X8, the XZS, against this phone, and it destroyed this phone, in my opinion, and probably 500-600 likes on that video. Those all people, they agree. The cameras on this phone, even though I haven't put it up against the Sony, I'm gonna put it up against my Sony that I have, the XA Ultra, because the front camera on there is really solid, and the rear cameras, yeah, they're okay. However, the cameras on this phone are great. No one's taking that away from the S8. Samsung fans, or you know, just some Samsung fans, not all. People who are actually so dedicated to this one brand get so offended. Instead of just accepting the reality of it, this isn't the best phone on the market. Sure, it looks cool and it's the latest tech from Samsung. However, it can be beat like everybody else. Every phone can be beat. You can't stay at the top forever. And Samsung produced this phone. Some people say they rushed it. I don't think they rushed it. Some people say they didn't market it. It's commercials everywhere. The fact is, the phone is solid. It's a great phone. The cameras on here, definitely not the best on the market. The U Ultra's cameras destroy this cameras on the front, and the U Ultra's cameras on the rear are just as good. You know? But the one phone in particular, this phone right here, people said, whoa, that phone beat it out. Even the G6 video footage, which I'm recording with, by the way, this video has been recorded and produced right on the G6. Some people said that this camera is better, you know? And so, you know, you just got to take it for what it is. You can't have it all. That's not saying that, because this phone is better than all the phones I'm mentioning in a lot of ways. So the cameras on here, the 8 megapixel, not the best. I actually like the S7's front camera better than this camera. But the rear camera, one of the best. So let's give it to it. It's one of the best, period. So I started with cameras, and I knew that I wanted that to be the highlight of this full review, because the cameras are something that everybody uses. and you want the best camera. Everybody wants the best camera. It's just what it is. You want a beast of a camera in your pocket, and the Samsung Galaxy S8 produces that. Now let's go to build quality and design. I normally start with build quality and design, but I had to start with cameras. I gave you 5 minutes on the camera, almost 6. So you take it up with me in the comments, or you guys can battle it out in the comments and tell each other how the S8's cameras are better. I'll leave that up to you, but I do have footage on the cameras, and there's several other videos out there showing that the cameras on the S8 to me are not the best, but they're definitely in the top 3. Build quality and design. Excuse me. This is also something that's really subjective. Now, the design of this phone gets 100%, gets a 10. Thumbs up, Sammy. Thumbs up. All right? You did it. But let's stay there for a second. Beautiful 5.8-inch display, top and bottom bezels almost invisible. You got just the curves on this thing make it feel good in the hand. You know, it is a slippery glass front and back. You know, it is what it is. Now, it's a beautiful phone. We've got that out of the way. Let's talk about what's built on this phone. You've got a Snapdragon 835, you got 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs onboard storage, SD card slot. I do have a Samsung 256 gig card in there, which works flawlessly because it's made by Sammy. It's going to work with Sammy. It's going to do good. You've got an iris scanner, 8 megapixel on the front, proximity sensors. You've got the 12 megapixel dual pixel. You've got fingerprint reader. You've got a heart rate monitor. You've got a dual tone LED flash. You've got USB Type-C. A microphone down here, headphone jack, speaker, loudspeaker at that, power button, Bixby button. It's loaded up. And a couple other things that you can't see. It's waterproof. And it's got fast wireless charging, not just wireless charging. Fast wireless charging. So you do the math of whether you think it's good or not. I think the build quality on here and the design is great. Top tier. However, one major flaw, and they're probably not going to fix this, and I've said it, and you can hate me for saying it. Sorry you feel that way, but curving both of these sides of this phone was a huge mistake. Not giving the option to give a flat screen, to me, is not the wave of the future. You know, having a curved body all around is not the wave of the future. In Samsung's eyes, it might be. They may think that this is the wave of the future and this is where we're going. I don't think so. I mean, it may go that way with Samsung. I don't think that's a great idea. You're killing us on the accessories, and you're killing us for screen protectors, just period. Just everything about that is killing us on that. So some people say, why cover it up? Listen, that's your prerogative. If you don't want to put a case and a tempered glass on your phone, we'll see you in the drop zone with cracked screens and scraped up devices with no resale value. We'll see you over there. But for people who want to keep their devices in a pristine condition, join us here. Curving both sides of the screen may make it look good and feel good in the hand, but it is a bad idea. The edge functionality, got it turned off. Not interested in that. I've used it, obviously. I tried it out because I had the S7 Edge and the Note, all these other phones that have the edge functionality. Great. But I don't want it there. Don't need it. Turn it off. I'll just go into my applications. So I do. Just go in here and get them. So the fact that they have curved screens on both sides, the plus side of that is it makes it look good and it feels good in the hand. After that, there's no functionality for me. I don't get the functionality there. I don't want to swipe in from this side to get to an application and touch the screen when I can just touch right here. Boom, touch and boom, got it. Boom, bam, boom, 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 bam. Good. It's over. That is what I like about the hardware. It's beautiful. It's well built, well crafted. However, curved screens, lame. Now, one thing I want to talk about of the build quality, and I just grabbed this phone. There's plenty of other ones I can grab. This is one just sitting here. I got my timer going on this one. See the way these phones are built? This is the replacement to this one. This is the S7. This is the S8. This is the replacement and upgrade to this one. The way they built the S7, it feels like it's built like a tank compared to the S8. The S7 has that metal chassis going all the way around, the flatness of it. I think it feels more premium than this phone. This phone just feels like a slippery piece of glass. This phone, however, even though it does have a glass back and I do have a clear matte screen protector or matte film on the back, carbon fiber, even without that, it feels a little bit more sturdy than the S8. It's just what it is, how I feel about it. Just the way the design is. I know they could have done black around here and flattened it out. But with this one, you know, I don't know, it just doesn't feel as premium. That's all. So obviously this is a feature-rich phone. I've gone over some of them, the iris scanner, the fingerprint reader, the heart rate monitor. You got the Edge screen, you've got S-Health, you got all these different things that make this phone feature-rich. So, you know, that's just what it is. Now, when I'm doing full reviews, I'm starting to do them closer to the end of the life of the battery. And I did this because my average battery life, I've been consistently getting up between 4 and 5 hours of screen on time. Nothing more, nothing less. The only way I was able to get 6 hours of screen on time out of here is if I was had it on 1080p setting, and I try to avoid having it on 1080p setting because I want to watch videos in Quad HD, and you can't do that. 1080p, you only get 1080p. So right now I got 5 hours and 22 minutes of screen on time with 15% left, and I'm going on almost a day. I got 22 hours and 10 minutes. That's good battery for me with this phone. And I don't think I could squeeze out 6. I might be right under 6 because when you get into this zone right here, the 15%, it starts to really burn fast. And the only reason I got, now before I started this review, I was playing around with it and I had 20% and I was at 4 hours and 50 minutes. So I've got an extra half hour just in that 5%. So, you know, I don't know that I could squeeze 6. I might be able to, but a lot of people don't want to. Only reason I let the battery run low like this is because I'm always around an outlet. But for those that are at work and stuff like that, you can put it into power saving mode and save yourself a bunch of battery. You can make it through the rest of your day at 15%. Listen, folks, there is absolutely nothing wrong with using power saving mode. It's an option on the phone, and I can guarantee you a lot of, well, I would hope, I can't guarantee you, I would hope that a lot of the average consumers who have this phone go into power saving mode. When you get low, or you're just not using your phone at night, whatever, put it into power saving mode. Why waste your battery? Put it into power saving mode. That way you won't have to be on the outlet all the time. You could actually use this phone for a couple days. You put it into power saving mode, and I gained 6 hours. If you go here, you do it like this, it's going to drop it down. It's going to produce and change all these things to the lower settings. And here we go. So it's going to keep changing. It's going to keep changing. Oh, I gained more than 6 hours. Oh, no, yeah, I gained 6 because it added it together. So I got 9 hours and 42 minutes that I could possibly get out of this 15%. That can take me through the rest of my day for phone calls, whatever. Now, you do have the option to edit some of these, but you can only edit the bottom 4. And that's something that I just, it's kind of like, man, I wish I could edit all of these, because I would take off that browser because I don't use it. I use a Chrome browser. And I probably would take off, no, I will leave it at that. I would be able to, I want to take off that. I would want to be able to change them all, but I would definitely want to be able to take off that browser right there. But nonetheless, you could definitely pull through a couple of days on a single charge with this phone, even if you're setting it at Quad HD. But you need to use that power saving button. So I don't know why a person would say, you know, don't use the power saving. It's not a real review. Sure it is. I'm reviewing this for the average consumer. Now, I've only used the power saving mode, I think, at night. I don't use it during the day. But, or if I'm the times that I've been out somewhere and, you know, I'm like, whoa, you know, I would turn on power saving mode. Why not? I'm nowhere near an outlet. I got to be able to keep the phone charged up so I can make it through the rest of whatever I'm doing. So use power saving mode. There's nothing wrong with power saving mode. Not at all. Some reviewers say, oh, you shouldn't do that. I don't do that during the reviewing phase. Well, how can you tell the average consumer? Now, I don't use it on a regular because I'm always near an outlet, but use the power saving mode. Battery life on this phone should be really good for the average consumer. It really should. Now, web browsing, like basic stuff like social media, web browsing, speakers. The speaker on this phone, while I don't think it's as loud as the G6, it's still very loud. I use the G6 for an example because it's a waterproof phone. They're both waterproof or water resistant. So Samsung definitely upped the game from the speaker that they have on this phone, because this phone is water resistant, waterproof too, whatever you want to label it. And the speaker on this one is definitely not that loud compared to this one. I don't know. Overall, you know, the price of this phone is $750, and you can find it as low as $650 on carriers. So, you know, 650. Yeah, you can find it as low as $650 on carriers. So top of the line for this is going to be $750 for these US models. I don't know, guys. Is the Samsung Galaxy S8 just another pretty face? Or is it a phone that's fully functional and offers a lot to today's market? Now, when I compare this against other phones, the price tag that it got, now I will be honest, I didn't think it was going to come in at $750. While $750 is still a lot of money, it's a lot of money. I didn't think it would be $750. I thought it would be $850 and $950 because that's what the rumors were suggesting. And again, that's why those are rumors. Samsung shocked us and knocked $100 down, you know, I guess to try to recoup some of the money from the Note line. I don't know. Everybody's going to have their own speculations on what it should be. But I will say that for $750, could I justify, and I'll use this as an example, and I'm using this as an example because of the internals. Why can't I compare these against each other? I've already compared these, and a lot of you guys say, man, the G5 Plus, boss. This is a boss device. 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs internal. 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs internal. Fast fingerprint reader, fast iris scanner. Fantastic rear camera. Fantastic rear camera. Pretty good front camera. Decent front camera. $299, $750. SD card, SD card. Water repellent, I believe. Water resistant. No wireless charging. Wireless charging, fast wireless charging, but fast charging. 3,000 milliamp hour battery, 3,000 milliamp hour battery. Feels great in the hand, feels fantastic in the hand. 1080p 5.2 inch, 5.8 inch Quad HD. Much smaller phone, or about the same height. But when it comes to the skinny of it, can they do the same thing? Stock experience, buttery smooth. TouchWiz, Samsung Experience, Grace UI, all the same. Came across laggy at first, has smoothed out in the end. I haven't experienced a lot of lag. And Pristine Tech, he talked about when I went into the apps, you know, section, because I go into the app section a lot, and it takes a long time to start, and then there's some lag like that. He was kind of suggesting that my phone is defective or something like that, but I'm not the only one that that's happened to. And it only happens on Samsung phones that I have. Well, this one in particular and some other ones. But can I justify telling you to buy this over this? No, I can't. And I can compare these because they're mine, and I think it's a great comparison. The cameras on here rival the cameras on here, if not the same. You know, some people say, oh, you know what you're talking about, Jay. You just saying you hate Samsung. Man, I don't hate Samsung. You don't know me. I've been rocking with Samsung since day one. I've probably had every Samsung device. Love them. But it's time to face the music. Samsung is not producing these stellar devices that can kill all other devices. Is this a stellar device? Oh, yeah. This is fantastic. But I wouldn't tell you to buy it over this. If you said, I want something with a fantastic camera, superior battery life, pretty good build quality. You're describing this 64 gigs on both storage, 4 gigs of RAM. You're not going to say, I want a phone with a Snapdragon 835. You're not going to say that. You're going to start asking for, I need something with good battery. Well, probably won't, it'll be this phone has good battery, but other phones have great battery at a much lower cost. So is it worth $750? You decide. What kind of battery life are you getting? How do you feel about this phone? Did you buy it? Do you love it? S8 Plus owners are like, oh, I get fantastic battery. People keep asking me, where's my S8 Plus at? You'll see it on the channel when I pop that video up. But this is a fantastic phone. And contrary to what people might believe, just because I'm not praising this phone and saying it's perfect in every way, and I think I pretty much did that about this one. It's almost got a perfect review. This phone is not flawless. It is not perfect. There is no phone that exists like that. This phone isn't going to get any special treatment because you like it. So if you're on my channel thinking that I'm going to say this phone is fantastic because you think it's fantastic, you should probably just change the channel. You know, don't leave a comment saying, well, why? Oh, you hate Samsung. Why'd you do this? Why'd you buy it if you have a curved screen? But all these things, do you go around asking other reviewers that? if you do, you should probably start your own channel. So then you can see what it's like to be on this side. But as a reviewer, this phone is nowhere near flawless. And, you know, as a consumer, it's fantastic. Fantastic. As a consumer, did I want to pay $750? Nope. Nope. That's why I got phones like this, you know, that I can compare it to. So, full review for the Samsung Galaxy S8, long awaited. Is the Samsung Galaxy S8 just another pretty face? Tell me. I enjoy using the G6 to record this. I'm sure the footage is going to come out really good because the G6 has a great rear camera setup. So 20 minutes in. So I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you enjoyed the full review. Also, one other note, I keep it paired to the Gear S2 Classic there, 24/7. So it's your man Jay Will. I will see you guys in the next video. Be sure to leave a comment, and all you Samsung fans out there that think I'm a biased reviewer and I hate Samsung, I'll see you in the comments. Take care, buddy. Appreciate your support. Take care, y'all.